I think as we get deeper into this event today, we're
Yeah,
going to
look
see
at
more
the
guys kind
replay
of
here.
hitting that section.
We got a replay of that last wave. There it goes. That was black. Trying to go for the pocket. Here it's going to reform. He's going to try to get some speed to look for a maneuver. He now needs to decide whether he does a cutback or he goes for the top. The wave slows down a little. He goes into a cutback right into the pocket. And that little turn there is so tricky because you got the undertow from the whitewash. And it can just take you out. So he lines up, almost pearls. But
I'd
that was
say
a good
he
ride.
pearled.
Yeah,
I
he
don't know
pearled.
that that's an almost pearl.
Yeah, he pearled.
He didn't pearl up to his eyeballs, but he did dip the nose there.
It is amazing how you go from a fairly soft takeoff into like a very fast down the line run.
Yeah.
And there's a little bit of a slow section, and you go back into like a very hollow section right here on the, you call it tabletops, is that right? Or
no.
tabletops is outside of middle point on the inside.
Table Rock. Table Rock is right next to the cliff, and we're not really seeing it real well. Our cameras are a little bit too deep. You can't really see right next to the cliff. You can see the top of the cliff right there on the screen, and just below that, that little wave that's breaking right now that you can see on screen, that's running right over Table Rock. And so what these guys will do is they'll take off a little bit behind that cliff where you see pink. He's just to the east side of the cliff. They'll take off a little bit behind the cliff and come around like this wave right here, and it'll just bottom out.
There you go, like Anthony Vela just did.
Like Anthony Vela right there, but he knows what he's doing. Or does he?
I hope he's wearing a leash.
He's got to be wearing a leash. He's too smart not to wear a leash.
I don't know. He seems to be holding that board like a lunatic. That looks like a man without a leash with rocks and waves.
I'm sure Dave Bainey is insisting that his team is wearing leashes. He doesn't want to do ding repair tonight. He wants to go to the party at Sup the Mag and celebrate Slater's win, as we have Chris Chandler dropping in on a bumpy bomb out the back. Let's see. I don't know if that one's going to line up too much, but it might allow for a couple maneuvers.
Yeah, there we go. A little bit of a turn. He's going to reform right now. Maybe a little bit of footwork, trying to get a bit more speed. A lot of bump again.
I like the interesting board choice here. You see a lot of these guys with more of a real short board style board with pointy nose, and they're shorter. And Chris, he's opted for more of a longboard style board. It's got more of a full nose, and with that airbrush, I'd say it was probably shaped by Bob Pearson.
Bob Pearson.
You know, so I guess what that does is it gives him the option of nose riding, which he may do here in a second. So, you know, to each his own.
I'll tell you, that's quite a controversial topic. So what do you guys think? Should athletes be going progressive? Should they be going traditional, or should they try to have a hybrid style? We want to hear from you. Just make sure you tweet or you post on Facebook, Instagram, wherever you post, add the hashtag SurfTechSO13. We want to hear from you. People got pretty opinionated about this.
As they should. I'm opinionated about it.
There we go.
I mean,
oh, there's Anthony Vela. What is he trying to do?
Throwing it up for his fans.
So let's hear it. Duke, progressive, traditional, hybrid, what say you?
It depends on what the wave offers. On a day like today.
See, that's the right answer right there.
Well, on a day, I mean, it also depends on your style. On a day like today, I feel like you should be on a high performance shortboard shape like AV and Dave Bainey and Matt Becker and Candace Appleby were using. Smaller and just boards that you can fit into the pocket on a head high wave. That's what we're looking for. Tight turns in the pocket.
So this is another heat. This is Chuck Glenn, I believe.
That is the man himself, Chuck Glenn.
On his backhand. That was
backhand, and here we go. Boom!
Oh my!
Nice floater.
Oh my
Doesn't
goodness.
pull it. Tried to brace himself with his paddle in the white
But
water,
he got like a great ride. Like that was literally like about 10 seconds into the heat. The horn had just gone off. That's a great way to start the heat.
So what's it like to be Chuck Glenn? Hi, who are you? Oh, you're Laird's nephew, right?
That's right.
I mean, is he ever going to get out of that shadow? I mean, I guess if you're going to be in someone's shadow, Laird's not a bad one to be in.
But nice guy, you know, like very low
nice.
profile. You can't get much lower profile than Chuck Glenn, and he rides some incredibly large waves.
Yeah.
In fact, last year I think he was just hanging out with Laird on Maui.
And it shows. The guy's ripping. And this is Fletcher Burton right here, speaking of Mavericks. I think he goes out there every once in a while, too.
Middle peak, we got Black going for it. Not quite.
I think that might have been Black from the last heat. Trying to get out of here. So in this heat, we have in black Fletcher Burton, and in blue, Supconnect's own Joe Carberry. In green, you're looking at Chuck Glenn, who we've been talking about, and in pink, Brent Pascoe. As we see Brent Pascoe on a little wave at the slot, and he is going to have an opportunity to smash there's an oncoming section here.
There we go. Whoa.
Nice turn.
That was it. That was good. See,
Very
here's
well
a good
done.
example. He got about we got a 360 there on the outside. So he got only, I think it was only 2 turns that I could count here, but he made them count.
Sure did. And that's what we're looking for. You want to wow the crowd, right? You want these guys to be watching you surf and go, whoa! And if you have the fans on the cliff and at home that are throwing some woes at you, you're doing something right. And those type of turns is exactly what's going to get people fired up and psyched.
And Brent just came second at the Mongoose Cup for the sprint race. So he's also an incredibly fast racer. On the outside, we got blue.
That's Joe Carberry right there.
There we go, Joe, trying to find the open face. He goes for the little turn there. Trying to find that reform. Let's see what the wave is going to do there. On the outside, we do have a set coming.
Here's Green on the outside.
Green all the way on the outside.
And he's still going. If we can get the camera out to Green. That is Chuck Glenn. And seems like every heat we have somebody who is bound and determined to win that heat. And Chuck appears to be that guy in this heat right now.
Oh, my goodness.
There is a bombing set coming in out at the point.
Now he connected this all the way from the outside.
And he's going to do a big floater re-entry right here.
Nice floater.
Does he pull it? He does.
Yeah, he does.
He will keep going.
And again,
and
he pulls it off.
Oh, man.
I mean, what would you say? That came all the way from Indicators? What was that? That was not Middle Peak. He came from around the point here, right?
Yeah, he went for a little ways. I didn't see where he took off on that one, but definitely
not
a good
Indicators. Indicators
ride.
on the inside. See, I'm getting everything mixed here.
Yeah, he's. I think he was out kind of at Middle Peak. But
there is Middle Peak going off.
Yeah, this is the west-northwest swell right here.
That's the left you're talking about right there. Look at that left.
Yeah, not really. That one's a little bit bumpy and mushy and kind of burgery.
Maybe the ones on the outside?
We're looking for ones that have a big, dark, black barrel on them. Now that left is starting to look the part. Pretty short. And out at the point, it's just...
now the surf has definitely come up.
It's picking up, yeah. So this is that more northerly swell, and this is kind of, in the wintertime, this is steamer lane. You see big waves coming through the point and big mounding A-frames coming through Middle Peak, and it creates a lot of chaos. And as you and I are looking out right now, I see nothing but chaos. There's waves bouncing off the rocks, moving sideways through the lineup, and laying down and paddling through this is tough. As we have a replay here, this is Chuck Glenn's wave on the very inside, so he's already done 3 or 4 turns on the outside, and he kind of milks it. I love this little floater that he does right here. Just throws the board up, lip's starting to throw over, unweights himself, puts himself right on top of the lip.
Excellent placement.
And then floats right through that whitewater. I mean, the whitewater is pretty bumpy, and he handled that pretty well. It didn't really...
And then he goes for a second floater.
Yeah,
we think he wouldn't make it, but he made it. He comes out of that whitewash standing.
Yeah, that was pretty impressive right there. I hope the judges saw that, like our cameras did. But
and Chuck Glenn is one of the top contenders for the overall prize. He came second in today's race.
That's right.
Right behind Slater Trout. An amazing performance by Chuck Glenn, ahead of Matt Becker and also Anthony Vella.
Yeah.
Winners of the last 2 years.
Yeah, it was cool to see Chuck and Slater, pretty much going board to board. Those guys were battling it out for the entire 6.5 miles.
And it's always nice to see also new names on the scoreboard. In the race, we had Chuck Glenn coming second, and in the women's, we had Britt Oliphant, right?
Britt Oliphant, what got into her? I have to say, I love her to death. She's one of my favorite human beings in the world. But did I pick her to come in second over Morgan Hostry and Jen Fuller
and Allison
Riddle? I'm sorry, Britt, but I didn't expect that you were going to do that, so good on you.
There's the Lion.
There's the Lion.
The Lion is pumped, and the Lion is about to go in the water to defend his title. This is last year's winner, Matt Becker.
Yeah.
There is, we got Jillian Gibri right there. Martha Becker is also right there. So that's some of the behind the scenes.
Yeah, Becker's fired up. You know when you get psyched on something, especially surfing, you're watching it for a while. I mean, he's been watching that for 2 hours. I just wonder if the emotional roller coaster of getting fired up watching all these little spitting barrels 2 hours ago has kind of burned him out. We'll see when he gets in the water if he still has that eye of the tiger. But we hope he does. And got a little bit of a lull right now. What do you think? Should we thank our sponsors?
Yes.
Right now, obviously Surf Tech for bringing this event to everybody. As we see Brent Pasco here on a nice little wave on the inside, he's going to do a series of cutbacks. That's probably all that wave's going to offer. Want to thank Supconnect. Without you guys, we wouldn't be here. And why don't we go ahead and go to commercial if we have one queued up?
That's right. Let's set up a commercial here. This is, if I had to call this heat, I would say that Chuck Lynn is probably leading the heat.
I'd say there's no doubt.
And but for second place, I don't know. That's a tough call because you had Brent Pasco getting some good surf, and then we had a few other guys catching some waves.
Are we going to try to pay some bills here? And
okay, yeah, let's run the commercial.